Hi, I'm Toya Druski from Galveston, Texas, also known as Galveston Psychic Paranormal Researcher. This video will probably be 2 or 3 segments. I wanted to come on tonight and talk about a very controversial subject. I'm going to bring up the Druski parody versus Erika Kirk. And I want to talk about blackface. So, I have a lot of black friends. Galveston, Texas is a very diverse island. There's many ethnicities here that live on the island. We all get along. We are all very good friends. I have many black friends who voted for Trump. Also, I want you to think about the Hodge twins, who are avid supporters of Trump, even after all that he has put Americans through. So, I want you to think about things like all of my life, since the day that I was born, I've never ever been prejudiced against any country or any other race of people. To my knowledge, neither my grandparents or my great-grandparents ever owned slaves. In fact, they were so impoverished that they were probably enslaved or worked right along with the slaves. As a psychic, I see things much deeper than most people do. I'm also a Scorpio, and Scorpios are very intuitive. So, the first thing that came to mind when the Druski versus Erika Kirk parody came out was, first of all, I want to let you know that the moment that I saw Erika Kirk as a psychic, immediately I was like, that is not a good person. Pure evil. I did not like her. I also did not like Charlie Kirk, just for the reason that I don't believe that you should push your religion on any person, that you should live your life and stay out of other people's lives and let them be free. So now that I have that clear, I want to talk about the fact that I have always loved to dress as other cultures. It is said that we had a Cherokee grandmother, so a lot of times you will see me wearing American Indian clothing. My personal style, I love things from India, from Persia, the Middle East. That is just something that I love. I love all of the bright clothing, the embellishments, things like that. I have never ever dressed up with the intent of trying to insult another culture. And I believe that the world is a stage, that we should be able to dress the way that we want to dress. It should never be an insult. I do acknowledge in the past that blackface has been used in prejudiced ways, like Black Sambo, other characters, and it was done with absolute cruelty and mockery of blacks. Now, if I was going to do blackface, I would do Wanda Sykes or I would do Cat Williams, because they are funny, they are hilarious. I love both of those comedians, and I only wish that I could do a parody of blackface and become them for even one evening. Now, I was not offended in any way by Druski's parody of Erika Kirk. In fact, because I don't like Erika Kirk, because I thought that she was pure evil from the very first time that I saw her. I mean, I was like, y'all don't see it? The eyes, you don't see that immediately? Even if I wasn't psychic, it seems like everyone would see that, right? So a lot of people didn't. A lot of people were like, how could you be so cruel and say that you don't like her? She just lost her husband. Man, from the very beginning, I thought she killed her husband. I was like, she had something to do with it. This woman, I can feel the evil just seeping out of her. I can see the black aura around her. And I've very seldom ever been fooled by anyone, because I do read people immediately. I read their energy. I'm very intuitive about people. So I don't believe that Druski ever meant to be prejudiced when he made this skit about Erika Kirk. I think that he was being the funny comedian that he's always been. But the danger is this. You know, our government wants to divide us. And they would absolutely set up a scenario like the Druski versus Erika Kirk thing to separate us and to divide us, to distract us from the war, from the underhanded things that our government is doing right now, from the Epstein files. And so immediately I had this fear. I had this fear that even though it may have been an innocent skit, that it could turn out deadly for either side. And the reason that I say that is this. Okay. This is the difficult part of the conversation that I have to start with you. There is no double standard. Immediately after the Druski and Erika Kirk skits came out, several black people came on daring white people to do blackface and saying, go ahead and do it and see what happens. So I'm watching this as a white person, and they're saying, you know, it's okay for Druski to do whiteface, but it's absolutely never okay for white people to do blackface. You cannot expect a double standard. And I don't believe that every white person that does blackface, like if I did Wanda Sykes, or if I did Cat Williams, it would be because I love them. They are so hilarious to me. I would want to be them for one day. I would want to sit in a room with them. I think that it would be a wonderful tribute to them. Now, if I was doing something to make a mockery of someone, or to make a mockery of the race, then okay, that would be a terrible thing. What I did not want to see is, in the last few months, there's been so many influencers on every social media platform calling my race, white, stupid white people. Now, you know what? In my whole entire lifetime, I've never called any race of people stupid. I've never called anyone from another country stupid. Ever. I would not do it. Because when you do that, you yourself are fueling hate. You are creating hate. One influencer said, well, go ahead and do blackface and see what happens. What's another 400 years of this continuing? Well, another 400 years of continuing to hate each other, to build prejudice against one another, is not the direction that we want to go. We have to stick together, because starting tomorrow on Tuesday, if our crazy, I'm going to call our president crazy, if Trump, who is an embarrassment to all of us, decides to push that nuke button and hit Iran, we are all in trouble. We are all in danger. And we cannot separate. We have to stick together through this. We have to stop teaching hate. See, if you are black and you're continuously telling your children, telling your family, telling your friends, getting on social media saying, those stupid white people, well, yes, there are stupid white people, but there's stupid black people, there's stupid everybody, other races. There are the few radicals that are prejudiced in every country, in every race. There are a few radicals that always run it for everyone. But for the most part, I would say between 50 and 75% of us love each other. We don't have any prejudice in our heart whatsoever. And I have seen reverse hate against white people. In the past couple of years, I've been in the store with a mother in front of me in line, and her daughter grabbed a white Barbie doll. The mother, the black mother, snatched the white Barbie doll out of her daughter's hand and said, no, you're not buying that doll. You're going to get this one, and shoved a black Barbie doll in her hand. And I thought, you know what? Right there, from a very young age, you're teaching your child to hate white people. And every one of you social media people, there's one black social media influencer which I follow most of his posts. I really appreciate the information that he gives to us, because he used to be a soldier, and he tells us a lot about the war and things that are going on, and I really love his post. He's black, married to a white woman with mixed children, but he is constantly in his post saying stupid white people, stupid white ladies, stupid white women. I am not stupid. If you are black and I meet you and you are saying stupid white people, you are blocked in every way from my life. I'm not going to be around that. Also, this idea that the white people living today need to apologize to you as a black person is over the top. That's not going to happen. First of all, I have no guilt whatsoever, because I've never done anything to any race. I've never done anything to blacks. I've never done anything to Mexicans. I love most of the people that I meet. When I look back on my family, to my grandmother, to my great-grandmother, they never owned slaves. They were so poor, so impoverished, that, I mean, they were probably working with the slaves. And I think it's atrocious, I can't even hardly say that, atrocious, that any race of people has used other races for slavery, but it's happened all over the world. I say to God all the time, why did you create humans? They are by far the ugliest, meanest, most hateful embodiment of anything that carries a soul. It's so disheartening to see war in any country. Why would anyone want to kill another human being? This earth belongs to every one of us. And that is so hard to talk about, because as long as we have lived, and even after I'm long gone, there will still be countries that hate each other, who think that they're better than another country. There will be races of people that think that they're superior to others. And it's just not right. We're all human. No one is above anyone. No skin color is more beautiful or uglier than the rest. When I look at skin color, I appreciate diversity. I wouldn't want us to blend into one color and for there to be just one race on this earth. Truly, when you look at the ebony models that are that extremely dark chocolate brown, their beauty is very rare. I have several friends from Nigeria and also from Africa. A lot of them have brought me African caftans. So if you see me in an African caftan, do not say that I'm being prejudiced or that I shouldn't wear the caftan because I'm white and it's against your African culture. It was a gift from my African friends. But what I'm saying is, have you ever seen the white people that have the milk white skin? And they look so amazing and beautiful, like the most glowing skin. I love Mediterranean men that have the olive skin with the olive green eyes or the sea green eyes. Oh my gosh, I think that they are so attractive. In fact, I'm more attracted to the Middle Eastern looking men rather than American men. I worked for the Japanese for 7 years. They were the kindest people that I ever met in my entire lifetime. They treated me better than any American company could ever think of treating me. I had 52 holidays, paid holidays. Every Christmas I got a Christmas bonus. My health insurance and benefits were fully paid. The only reason that I stopped working for the Japanese was in the 7th year there was some kind of trade problem between the U.S. and Japan, and our Houston office was closing. I have nothing against China. I shop from Temu all the time. I love Temu. It is such a fun site to get on and find really, really cute things to wear. I love that they have gothic things. I love that they have, like really interesting prints, bohemian looking prints. So I don't have a prejudiced bone in my body. And I'm not going to let any race of people try to manipulate me into guilt that there's no reason for me to have guilt. Some black people insist that every white person should have guilt and walk around saying, I'm sorry for things that they didn't even do to them. The people that are living today have not done anything to you. If anything, it's the radical people who shouldn't be classified as whites They should be classified as radicals. That's what they are. They are hateful human beings that have no respect for any race of people or any other person other than themselves. I wish that I had a wig and I could dress up as Wanda Sykes. Not because I'm making fun of her, because I think she's the funniest character that I could ever emulate. I love Cat Williams. Sometimes I walk around the house and I like find myself like paraphrasing some of the skits that he's done. I just think that he's so hilarious. All of my life I've listened to black music. I love like soul and blues music. It's actually my favorite kind of music. I have a lot of black friends, but there have been instances in the past where I had to end a friendship because one of my black friends is like, just over the top with the thing about, oh, well, white people this, white people that. And I would be like, hey, take it easy. I've never done anything to you. One time, out of pure innocence, I'm not a person who's ever been around children. I've never had children. Up until about 2 years ago, I've never even seen babies born. I've never been to the hospital to look at babies. So one of my black friends that was my coworker, and we were really close friends, her daughter had a baby, and she was black. Well, when she sent me pictures of her grandchild, the first thing that came out of my mouth is the baby looks white. And my friend took that as like a stab in the chest, like I had said something so bad. But the baby was white, pretty much white. Now, I've never seen black babies being born. I've never even went to the hospital and seen white babies because I'm just not a person who's around children a lot. So we went back and forth for a long time, like, well, why does that hurt you? First of all, I'm just saying that it looks white. So she said, well, that's so upsetting because you know what happened in the slave days. So many black women were raped by white men, and in our genes, there's probably a lot of, white ancestry. And for us, that's a very touchy subject. Well, I wasn't trying to be mean. It was just something that I said because a lot of times I just speak my mind and I just say whatever comes up. I'm not, a person that censors what I say. Let's see. Another time, I was a supervisor at a job, and I was the only white person over a all black staff. And they hated me, no matter how nice I tried to be, no matter how good of a supervisor I tried to be. Every day I heard the whispers, that white bitch thinks she can tell us what to do. That white bitch, just awful. I ended up quitting a good job after 8 months because every day, no matter how good I tried to be, they wouldn't let me into their circle. And that's unfortunate because I am a great supervisor. I am a very fair person. I guess, well, I'm trying to think of some of the other things, between blacks and whites that are touchy subjects. It's always going to be something that is hard to talk about because I perfectly understand that the history that they're trying to cover up, that our white president, Donald Trump, is trying to erase, is so important to you. I know that what happened to blacks was absolutely a horrible thing. But I also think about, well, look what happened to Jews. Look what happened to the American Indian. I'm Hungarian. Part of my people were exterminated just like the Jews. They went into Hungary and took the Hungarians and the Polish people, which are also my ancestry. So historically, human beings have been so cruel to others that I don't know if it's ever going to stop. Look at the Jews who killed over 300,000 Palestinians. They're neighbors. There's only an imaginary line between Israel and Gaza. But they went to bed every night while their neighbors were being brutally murdered and bombed. Now, you know what? I have both Jewish friends and I have Palestinian friends. Real friendships. And I have to tell my Jewish friends that it breaks my heart. It breaks my heart that they allowed their neighbors to be murdered, to see children starving every day. And now that Iran is bombing Israel, my friends don't want me to say that I'm happy about that, but absolutely, as a psychic, I told them, I believe it's absolute karma. You think in life that you're going to get away with cruelty and that it's never going to come back to you. But every single thing that you do does return to you in a karmic way. So whether you are white, black, Mexican, if you were going around fueling hate by saying stupid white people, stupid black people, stupid Mexicans, stupid Chinese, whatever. Every time those words come out of your mouth, you're contributing to hate continuing between the races. And we shouldn't be headed in that direction. We should be headed to world peace. We should be doing everything that we can do to forgive each other, to start living in the present instead of the past. If we dwelled on everything that happened in the past, none of us will ever get over what has been committed against us. None of us. You can't live in the past. You have to live for today. You have to live in the future. You have to think about world peace. And that includes accepting all races. That includes not insulting other races. Now, my main fear, and I feel things very psychically and very in depth, and they are usually correct, is I didn't think that the parody of Druski versus Erika Kirk was just a funny skit. Even if it started out that way, I could see it fueling into something that could become lethal or dangerous for either side. So remember, that immediately when this came out, blacks were so angry. Blacks were angry because Erika Kirk said, well, if I dressed up as blackface, I would lose my job. I would, be hated across America. And then blacks were saying, well, we don't apologize for what Druski did. It was funny. It was hilarious. And it was. It was. Because he truly meant it in a comedy way. But many blacks got on social media and immediately started threatening whites. You cannot have a double standard. You cannot sit there and say, oh, well, we can do it. We can do it as a joke or a parody. But if you do it, it's an absolute fighting issue, and see what happens and make threats. Because let me tell you something. If one Erika Kirk fanatical person decides they don't like what Druski said, and they decide to make an example out of Druski, the intention would be to cause absolute chaos, absolute division between whites and blacks, and they would use it to the fullest extent to distract you from what's going on, the Epstein files, the war, the robbery that is happening in our own government against the American people. They will use that as fuel. So don't let that get to you. Don't fall for their plan. They're going to be doing everything to upset you. They're going to be pitting people against each other, especially blacks and whites, because that is like one of the main things that would upset everybody. They know that it is like an explosion. As I'm talking to you, my cat is upset because I brought home my mom's dogs after my mother passed away. So my cat has not gotten used to the new dogs, and so she's been crying constantly. She's over here jumping up on the furniture to get away from the dogs. But understand from a deeper level what they're trying to ignite. See, I think that Druski may have started out doing this as a parody, but social media is pushing it as a division. And the sooner that you get that clear image in your head, then you can start to change. Don't get upset. Don't threaten because you see comments about the parody either way, whether it's from someone white or whether it's from someone black. If Trump pushes that button on Tuesday, we are all in trouble. We are in massive trouble. And I want to say right now, you need to go buy extra pet food. You need to buy about 10 giant bags for the year. You need to go buy pet supplies. You need to go buy canned goods, napkins, toilet paper, water. Prepare for what is coming. It's not going to be good. The last power outage that we had, I think it was maybe 2 years ago. It was in the summertime, caused the death of one of my dogs. My chihuahuas have always been raised in air conditioning. And when the power went out for, I believe, 7 or 9 days. The house became so hot that the temperature rose, and my dog wasn't used to it. She ended up going into cardiac arrest from a heat stroke. And so I'm worried about that. You can't leave your doors open for safety reasons. So there's going to be many things that are coming up. You may need to get some backup systems. A lot of people are going to lose their jobs because companies will be closing down because of the economy. People will be afraid. There's going to be a lot of things that they're doing. If you've read Project 25 and Project 26, we are not coming out of this. They are setting us all up. They are setting you and me up and all of the people. And it's not just the red states versus the blue states. It's the entire government involved in this. Everything is going to change. Probably everything is going to change after Tuesday. And so we're all going to be struggling, and the best thing that we can do is stop this prejudice fighting. Stop this division. Let's all try to be helpful to each other. Let's all get back to community and being together and supporting each other. And let's be better humans and try to understand everyone. Let's try to have more empathy for Mexicans, for American Indians, for other countries, for Muslims. I've never hated a Muslim as long as I've lived. I've met many who are great and wonderful people. My surgeon was from Tehran, Iran. He was one of the greatest plastic reconstructive surgeons I've ever met in a lifetime. He was so skilled. He was one of the best reconstructive surgeons in Houston. And I will never forget his kindness to me. I don't hate Muslims. In fact, you know what? I actually like part of the Islam teachings. Not all of it, but some of it. It makes a lot of sense to me. I don't believe that anyone should be forced into religion at all. I don't care whether it's Christian, I don't care whether it's Muslim or any other religion. No one should be forced into religion. I believe that in the case of people who might be gay or homosexual, I believe in reincarnation. And I believe that whether you are talking to your son, your daughter, your mother, your boyfriend, your neighbor, you're not talking to a physical body, you're talking to a soul who is reincarnated many times. And a lot of times when that soul reincarnates into a new body, they still remember their past life, and they could have been a man or a woman. So homosexuality is really a spiritual thing, not a physical thing. I've had a lot of trouble lately. I've been having leg cramps from a side effect of the medication that I'm on. It's hard to sit here and be still. But I did want to make this video, and I know there will be some radicals that'll be like, I can't believe she said that. I can't believe that she talked about that. I can't believe I'm still going to call people stupid white people because they're stupid. Well, if you are that hateful person that will never change, I'm sorry for you. I'm not going to waste any of my time left on this earth feeling guilty for something that I've never been involved in. So, If you think that I'm going to walk around on earth and be like, oh my gosh, you know what? I'm just so sorry that I didn't kowtow to certain people and feel guilty for things that I've never done, but historically other people have done. Do I have sympathy that there is still prejudice against all people? Yes, I absolutely do. Have I met people in this lifetime that are still prejudiced no matter what? Yes, every day. Every single day. And it's not just white people. It is all races of people. I've seen just as much black hate against whites. I mean, really. Oh, now it made me remember. I have a mixed race friend, and when I say mixed race, I hate that word. I absolutely hate it because it was created specifically to describe white and black, or Chinese and black, or Mexican and black interracial couples. But really, if you did a DNA test on any of those couples, they're not just a mixed race like white or black. It's not black and white. It's not Mexican and black. It's not Chinese and black. You would find that they have all types of DNA. So, I have a friend. Her mother was white and her father was black. And she used to tell me all the time, well, I identify as black. She looks white. And I said, well, what about your white mom? You know, like, and she would always just kind of like brush that off. And I said, well, when you identify as totally black, then you're saying you don't care about your mom as a white woman who gave birth to you. I mean, let's be real. So she used to get so upset at me for saying that. And her mom has passed away. And I told her, I said, the least that you can do is, you know, when people ask, just say, yeah, you know, I'm a lot of things. I have some white in me. I have some black. You know, I'm I'm a Heinz 57, whatever. You know, my DNA is about 99% European. I thought all my life that because there's Hungarian Jews, I thought that I had Jewish ancestry. It turns out I'm more German. I am actually 50% British. It's debatable whether that's from Ireland or England or both. I am Hungarian because my father was Hungarian, and I'm German. Who knows what race I was in another lifetime. I believe there were lifetimes before this, and there will be lifetimes after this. I also believe we could come back as an animal. So, I hope that I have changed the heart of someone who listened to this video. Please don't teach your children hate. I don't care what a white person has done to you personally. Don't let your children grow up with hate. Children are not born with hate. They are taught hate. Don't be that person who is, you know, like being cruel to Mexican workers. Gosh, the Mexican people have been so wonderful. They have worked for slave labor. Most of them are the kindest people that you would ever meet. They have great family values. I really feel so sorry for them. When I hear things on the news like these people who hired Mexicans and then called ICE on the Mexicans, I want to go over there and just like take them down. I hope every person who's done that to another human being or to a Mexican who has hired Mexicans and then not paid them for their labor gets arrested. That should be criminal. I don't care what's going on right now with deportation. And it's not anybody's fault who is here in the country illegally. The Biden administration invited those people into our country with open borders. Our government did that. Our government opened the borders and said, come on into America. And now, very cruelly, because there is a different president, that administration is treating them like they are some kind of hog-tied animals, kidnapping them, raping them, killing them, dragging them out of their house, treating them like trash. It is some of the most deplorable things I've ever witnessed as a human. I hope that there is karma against every person who has created these hateful conditions. I really hope that Iran does get a hold of Donald Trump. I hope Iran gets the entire administration. It won't help just to get Donald Trump. I hope they get the entire administration. I hope at some point when all of this chaos is over, that we survive and that we build a peaceful world. Imagine world peace. Peace out. Bye.